What if I tell you that your Web3 brand is speaking a language that 96% of the internet user doesn't even understand? You are not alone. Right now, brilliant founders are leaving millions on the table because of 4 critical mistakes that keep them trapped in the crypto echo chamber. I'm Excalibur, and at Fremont, we specialize in helping those brands breaking that Web3 echo chamber. In the next 15 minutes, I am going to walk you through the exact audit we use with our clients to diagnose these leaks and unlock mainstream growth. And if you want this a full breakdown of your brand, then there is a link to apply and talk with us just below. So let's get into the video.
How to break out of the Web3 echo chamber in 2025. So what you're about to see is a straightforward route for diagnosing the biggest problem holding back modern Web3 brand and the approach we use at Fremont to move our clients from echo chamber to sustainable and mainstream process. And to understand the way out, we first need to see the whole prison, like the whole problem that brands are facing. And this framework maps out the 4 laws keeping your brand logged in. So these are the main 4 barriers which are creating the majority of problems for Web3 brands to scale to break out of. The first one is first messaging, second one is crypto echo chamber limits rate, third one is Gen Z alienation issues, and the fourth one is community retention bar. We'll break down each in detail and with the practical fixes which will be read in the end. So let's just start with where most Web3 brands lose the narrative before they even reach with a new user. Take first match. So the typical mistakes that brands usually make is they try to be smart, and while creating content or writing script, they use much of the technical jargon that for their brand. The result is they alienate users. Because just think, if you're sitting in a couch and watching videos on any social media platform like TikTok or YouTube or Instagram, okay, you don't want to use much of your brain. You want to relax, okay? And if you see videos where you are not able to understand what they are using, you will definitely skip that video, right? And that's what happens with majority of the Web2 brands. They try to be smart and use much of the technical jargon, which is very complex for normal Web3 use. And this leads to low conversion rates of users, and people even watch complete videos. So the retention rate is low, so the algorithm doesn't favors, and the result is that you as a brand doesn't get views. And then you ask the question that why I'm not able to succeed in the Web2 platform. So first, the major problem that you need to solve is use simple words, which is very easy to understand for even a normal user. See brands which are getting success, like Pajiping. For example, if you go to their Instagram, they don't have written NFTs in their home. Right? That's how it works, because they're not able. Because if they will write NFTs, crypto, Web3, people will have a different perception, right? And the floor price of Pudgy Penguins is around $50,000. So no one will come and buy $50,000 just by watching three. You need to have clear in terms of what your Instagram and tech team is. For example, if you see other channel like us, they have recently hit 1 million Instagram followers. They haven't written anything related to NFTs. No. Even you can see their videos. Then it's related to NFT, crypto, Web3 or something like that. So you need to understand that you don't need to write technical jargon while creating content. But let's say you fix your mask. It doesn't matter how clear you are if you're only having the conversation in a locked room. Here's the next problem. The crypto echo champ. So right now, crypto CT, which is crypto Twitter, is basically on X. And there are hardly more than 50,000 original users. Although you will see a lot of creators who are having 100,000 or 500,000 followers, but majority of them are bots, and people in that community knows the reality. So if you are having a limited amount of users, 50,000 or maybe 100,000, like 100,000 at its best, I don't think the more than the real users on that platform, on the CT community, right? I'm talking specifically on CT community, not completely on X or Twitter. Okay, and if you advertise every time, there are only. So you're very confined to that 50,000 people, right? And brands limited to those audience. But if you go mainstream platforms where Instagram, YouTube, TikTok has billion of users, you can reach broader audience. And this is why it is very critical for scaling brands on those platforms. Because right now, all the brands, what they do, they will announce their TG or like TG where the point launches or the release of their NFTs, the launch of the NFTs. And they will just say, join the Discord and follow for whitelist or follow for airdrop. Airdrop is basically getting tokens by by doing certain steps like retweet and follow the. So your user is stuck from CT, that is X, to Discord, and that's it. But when you cross that, the expansion can be very wide, and a lot of new users will enter and can be useful to grow your. So you decide to leave that room and step onto a platform, TikTok, right? This is where most face their third and most brutal reality, that is Gen Z's alienation issues. Remember, Gen Z is therefore enjoying the videos or the content that they're seeing. They are not TikTok for gaining some information, because if you really want to have information, you also will probably go to YouTube rather than on TikTok program, right? So if you're creating short form content, it must be relatable or something that is very easy to understand, because people there, they don't want to use much of their brain. They're relaxing, they're on the couch and scrolling. They don't use the brain. So just make sure to create content that is easy to understand. So currently what brands do is that have too much of technical words, which ends up Gen Z skipping the videos. Try to write the script which is as simple as easy to understand for anyone, and add storytelling, which will increase more chances of getting your retention rate very high. For example, if you went to this Chimpus video, see. There isn't much in this, This is very easy. That even a simple people who's trying, I was watching that video that easily understand. You're just pulling that. So this is what we need to do when we're trying to expand on various platforms apart from Twitter. Okay. Remember, whenever you create content, just ask him, would this catch Gen Z's attention or not? For example, if you're creating content DeFi, and you will say that how to make $20 while sleeping, it will attract Gen Z's users because they also want to create content. So make sure to align your brand's value when this. So you have done the hard work of attracting something new. Now, the ultimate test is, do you have a reason for them, or just a cool video that they scored past? Then, which is the next problem, community retention. So this is one of a big problem in the WordPress space. You can hardly have community in which the community retention is very low. 30% of the user instantly drop off after joining the server. So this means that the community retention rate is very low. There are a lot of projects, they just want people to come and join the Discord. But what ends up is that none of them users are active, which creates the Discord server as a ghost town. No one is there, no one is talking, it's just end up. And this is how brands slowly vet their users, which is basically very wrong, but this is what usually happens in Web3. Remember, in Web3, we see a lot of hype circles. But if you create a product just around hype, you won't be able to have those community members for the long time, because with time that hype fades and all your loyal community members will eventually. So make sure to create a product that actually solves problem, because the founders in Web3, they hardly create any product which solves real life problem. Individually, these all are the challenges, but together they are a system fix. But the good news is the fix is also a system. And this process of diagnosis and execution is exactly what we have built our agency around. So our system usually works in the 5 to 6 step process. First, we diagnose the gaps. What is the actual gap between your users and your brand? What they are wanting and what you have as a product. How to bridge that between your user and after diagnosing, we fix the message. If you write too much technical content on the Instagram bio, TikTok bio, no one will ever watch. No one will ever come to your profile and follow that button. So we make sure that whatever messaging that we are putting in front of user, it is something that relates, it is something that adds value to them, and it is something that the people can gain value from. Whatever the message is, we make sure that it adds some value into their life. After that, we try to expand on multiple platforms, not at once, but first on one platform like TikTok or Instagram. It all depends on the project and what kind of project you are. After that, after choosing the platform, what we do is we start to upload videos for a month, and then we check the data and analytics. If that works and if everything is good, then we expand to other platforms. So remember, 30 days is not enough for you to check whether your brand is working on TikTok and Instagram. You need at least 2 to 3 months to have a clear idea, to have more data on multiple platforms. For the expansion, what we do is Gen Z activity. We try to create content which Gen Zs can relate. This is one of the biggest win by Pudgy Penguins, and we have also find ways which we can help to our brands through which they can relate it to the Gen Z user and create content on that particular topic. And after that, whatever works, if we create 10 videos and 2 of the 10 videos get the max in views, we double down. Double down on what works. This is what we at Finland do. This is what we have as a system for scaling our clients, for breaking the Web3 echo chamber for our clients. If you have watched till now, thanks for this. And now you know all the 4 big barriers to break out of the CT echo chamber. Implement it in your road project and go beyond this.
So, let's be honest. How many of these 4 walls are currently surrounding your brand? And if it's all the 4, that's not a failure. It's the default for most Web3 projects. But now, you have the diagnosis. You know what needs to be fixed. And if you're wondering what it looks like when your Web3 brand actually gets this right, I'm not just going to tell you, I'm going to show you that. My next video is a full breakdown of how Chambers become the first Web3 brand to hit 1 million followers on TikTok. It's a masterclass in everything that we talked about: escaping the echo chamber, speaking Gen Z's language, and building a real community. I break down their exact strategy, their first viral hit, and how they turned pixels into the pop culture. It's the perfect step. You can watch it right here. And if, after watching that video, you think, okay, I see the playbook, but I need a partner to execute it for us, then we should talk. The first link is in the description. We'll book a free 30-minute call with my team. We will diagnose the single biggest leak and map a clear exit from that path. So, thanks for watching. Now, don't just take my word on it, and see the next video of Chimpus.